for yourself. Also, the event we had doing over water landing, what we'll do is I'll pop the floats via this lever right here. We'll land the helicopter in the ocean. Wait for the rotor blades to come to complete stop. I've got a red lever on my side, and then David, you got a red lever on your side. And what we'll do is pull those doors to come off into the water. Then we'll get out of the helicopter one by one with your vest already on and inflated. And when you get in the water, go inflate your survival vest. And I went to a special overwater survival school, so I link everybody like a big giant zipper, and that'll make us a larger target for search and rescue assets. And what we'll do is we'll take off, and once we get past those power lines on the left-hand side, I'll be able to start the tour. It's what they call a critical phase of flight, just like when you're on the airliner there. Alright, so we're in our mission profile now. Once again, my name is Ian. And a little bit of my background. I graduated from the University of California, San Diego in December 1993. Got my airplane license in August of 1994. And from there, I put my warrants for packing in with the Army and got picked up by February of 1995. Was auto basic training. Graduated from the Army's flight school in July of 1996. And from there, got a Black Hawk transition. Also became a Black Hawk instructor pilot. And from there, President Clinton sent me to Bosnia, President Bush sent me to Iraq, and to finish up my career, President Obama sent me to Afghanistan, but I also got to work down in Central America, South Korea a couple of times, Alaska, Germany, and some other places around the world. Retired from the Army after 20 years and 24 days. Got a job flying medevac in my hometown of Amarillo, Texas. But after a while, you get tired of picking up drunk drivers at 2:30 in the morning under night vision goggles. And I always wanted to be a tour pilot here in the Big Island, so just like the Beverly Hillbillies, just packed up and moved over here. Now I'm happy as a clam. If you guys have ever taken a helicopter tour before, the key to success to maintain your focus outside. If you do come inside to focus a cell phone or a camera or do any kind of rapid head movements, it may make a little bit nauseous. And we shouldn't have to climb up that high, but if you do have a problem with your ears, just do kind of a yawning motion, or you can do is pinch your nose, do what they call the Valsalva maneuver. If that doesn't work, just let me know. We'll just come down slower than a bit higher. Yeah, the clouds are going to start building up pretty quickly. Yeah, that stuff's supposed to move in tonight. It's a place I like to go to get away. Yeah, I got that tropical storm. I didn't even bother to memorize their names because usually they're here for about a day and then they leave. So. Yeah, if you could see Mauna Kea on the left-hand side, we would be able to see the 16 different astronomical observatories up on the summit up there. And the reason why those are there is we do have an inversion that sets up at night, makes for really clear skies. Yeah, Mauna Kea is close to 14,000 feet high, but it is the highest mountain in the world. If you go from the bottom of the ocean up to the summit, it's almost 33,000 feet from the seafloor up to the top. And we're also coming across the Parker Ranch. Reason why we have the cattle here, those are brought over as a gift to King Kamehameha by the British in the late 1700s. And of course, he put those cattle off limits to the Hawaiians so they can glow on thirst, but they did such a good job of it by 1830. We had almost 3,000 cattle here in the islands. They weren't the pulled Herefords of the Angus like we have here today. Had the big giant horns on. They're pretty aggressive animals. They go up to the sides of the Hawaiians' houses and attack them and eat their crops. And of course, John Parker got here in 1809. He was tending fish ponds for King Kamehameha. And they commissioned him doing the first cattle run up here in the islands. They even brought in some caballeros from Mexico to help teach the Hawaiians how to be cowboys. And of course, they stayed and had families up in Waimea, so the people look a little bit different up there. They see me drinking water from time to time. I got my Camelback with me here. Yeah, you may notice a lot of dirt roads kind of crisscrossing over here on the Parker Ranch. Those are actually fire breaks. Yeah, about 2.5 years ago, we had a really big fire up in this area. Went all the way from Alessandro's side over here in town of Waimea out there towards Victoria, so they call Hulalai. Yeah, it took about 7 days to get that fire put out, but I actually got to do some firefighting here back in 2006. We had to ship a couple of our Black Hawk helicopters down from Fairbanks, Alaska on the back of a C-17 cargo plane. Do some firefighting and some medevac work here on the Big Island. And the craziest thing we saw was the wild pigs that come up to the fire line and start feeding. We think there were some seeds that were popping up that were kind of tasty. Yeah, we always kind of made the joke right before we dropped the water in the fire, there'd be some roasted pork down below us, but they never really went in the fire itself, kind of moved with the fire line. It was up here by this Girl Scout camp. And they look like really not going that fast or climb up here at about 110 miles an hour. We're going to go from sea level to almost 7,000 feet in the saddle. Yeah, these are what they call a shield volcano. It's not like a cone volcano like you'd have in Guatemala City or Mexico or the Aleutian Island chain. Those are all based on two tectonic plates rubbing back and forth in each other. But here we have what they call the hot spot, originated off the coast of Russia several million years ago, and it produces a caldera lava lake underneath the island. Yeah, that magma chamber goes down about 18 to 40 miles down within the earth when it does come to the surface. But y'all just say it is pretty much coming from the first formation of the planet. I'll take their word for it there. Yeah, this Highway 190 does get closed down from time to time. I get the range fires. So these little crevasses coming down, these are going to be former lava tubes that have collapsed in on themselves. This we call the village of Waikiki over here on the left-hand side. That wasn't here back in 2006. That was just all open rangeland out there. And once we get the Girl Scout camp over here, I'll be contacting the Army, get permission to go through their airspace. Yeah, it's called the Pakaloa Training Area, Restricted Area 3103. The reason why we have an active military base here is we don't have any areas over in Oahu where we can do live fire exercises. So they bring all their artillery trucks and equipment over here via barge. Air Force also has a bombing range out there as well. Yeah, it's like that Black Hawk helicopter over there is just coming off of the restricted area, so. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll get down to the saddle back over here. We'll make a nice right-hand turn at the protesters. Yeah, you get to see them firsthand versus on the news channel. Yeah, what they're doing is they're protesting against the $1.4 billion telescope they want to build at the summit of Mauna Kea. Yeah, unfortunately, a lot of the indigenous people here on the island do believe that life itself did originate on the summit of Mauna Kea. Yeah, even though our government's already approved the $1.4 billion telescope to be built up there, they blocked the road back up over here and they won't let them pass, so. Yep, come over here and go down through the saddle, make a nice right-hand turn. Yeah, it sounds like the music kind of stopped there for a second. Sometimes this thing will time out on itself. There we go. Okay, got a hold of the Army, gave us permission to go through their airspace. Yeah, they'll do everything on the right-hand side of the road up to the base of Mauna Loa. Yeah, the road will be coming up on is Route 200. It's also known as the Saddle Road. The official name is the Daniel K. Inouye Memorial Highway. And of course, Daniel K. Inouye was a senator from the state of Hawaii, was of Japanese descent, fought in World War II in the European theater. After he passed, they renamed the road after him down there. Yeah, the old Saddle Road is in really bad condition. Actually went through the military base. If you're here before the new road was built, your car rental contract said you couldn't even go down the Saddle Road and validate your insurance policy. There's a couple of spots in there we could jump your rental car like the Dukes of Hazzard if you got going fast enough. Yeah, you probably already driven on it already, so.
Yes. Yes. Yeah,
We do get about 9% of our gasoline, diesel, jet fuel, and propane come over the top of this road over here.
where?
Yeah, even though it's,
My window.
yeah. Yeah, even though it's a 2-lane road for Hawaii standards, it is a 4-lane highway because a lot of times there's so many vehicles and trucks will pull on the shoulder and let you pass.
Look at the giant mountain. Look. Oh yeah, that's very giant.
Yeah, we don't have any alligators here on the island, but we do have a lot of tailgaters. Yeah, they usually show up in the early morning if they've had a lot of coffee and they usually run late to work, or in the evening when they're trying to get back to their house. Yeah, it's kind of pulling the shoulder and let those guys pass. They probably feel safer on the roads in Central America than you do here. For some reason, they just absolutely lose their minds and don't know how to drive. A lot of the scientists do claim that this gray haze in the air called VOG or volcanic fog is a neurotoxin. They have something to do with their decision-making process. There's even a French scientist has a theory it creates an anxiety disorder in some people as well. Yeah, during the eruption time, you didn't have to wear sunglasses. The haze was so bad it was blocking out the sun out there. Yeah, we do have some buildings about 3/4 of the way up on Mauna Loa out there. The national, government up there, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, has an observatory up there, and there is a history of atmospheric monitoring. Yeah, back in 1958, there was a scientist from the Scripps Institute of Oceanography in San Diego that had a theory that we had rising CO2 levels here on the planet. And I needed to find a place to get some air samples that weren't tainted by industrial pollution, so some of that seemed to work for his experiments. That equipment stayed there from 1958 to 2008. There's a little dust devil over there. Yeah, we had the eruption going on. We had the steam plume that was over there by Fissure 8 was rotating just like that, except it went up to about 15,000 feet. Yeah, of course, this airport out in the middle of nowhere is called Bradshaw Army Airfield. It's a C-130 capable runway. Yeah, it looks pretty short, but I've seen them do it. The runway itself is about 3,700 feet long. And what I do is I usually aim for those microwave stations out in the distance out there, and that'll keep us away from the protesters. Yeah, we're kind of worried about them complaining about the tour helicopters, and what they could do is get our government to put in what they call a temporary flight restriction, so we would block this route so we couldn't get out to the volcano. Yep, here's the main military base itself out there. Yeah, you can see that white-looking golf ball structure about halfway up on Mauna Loa out there. And what they do is they have volunteers go live inside that dome for almost an entire year. When they go outside, they have to be in these big, giant green spacesuits. They're not part of the astronaut corps. The people like you see on Discovery Channel want to volunteer for something.
Papa? They're gonna... Okay, aren't we? Okay then.
Yeah, we're going to head out to what they call the Kilauea Halemaumau event, and then what we'll do is we'll work our way down to where all the devastation happened in 2018. Yeah, on the 3rd of May of 2018, we had the first fisher come out of Lani Estates. It was all said and done. We had 25 fishers any one time down there. They had to destroy over 706 homes. Over 2,000 people got displaced out of their homes. Yeah, the people still own the land, but a lot is just covered up the top of their house. Yeah, that's what we call Mauna Kea Park out the right-hand side. It's about the only place you can really stop and take a break down there. Yeah, it's named for these microwave stations back over here, and that'll keep us clear of the protesters. Yeah, it's going to take about 10 years to build the telescope, and I guess you can be out here for 10 years without a job and knock yourself out, right? So we'll see what happens. I think here, this has been going for about 4 weeks. I think eventually the enthusiasm will wane and they'll just kind of leave, so. Yeah, Spain has already offered to take the $1.4 billion telescope. It's an alternate site. They're kind of pushing that already, so. Yeah, they say the terrain in Mauna Kea is about the same as the moon. So back in the 1960s, the Apollo astronauts went up to the summit up there to practice for the moon landing.
Whoosh.
Yeah, you can see those vehicles